Hello, folks, and welcome to our first very own Girl Chat. I'm your girl, AD,
Woo!
and we have
And
a
I'm
very
Janet Bernabel.
yes, we have life coach Jeanette Berner Bell, and we're going to be talking to you about amazing, inspirational topics that will probably change your life. Don't you agree?
Definitely. Just watch and see.
All right, so let's get into our first topic, which is
Mm.
our first topic is loving yourself. Okay, so within this topic, I feel like there's a lot of people out there who don't understand the importance of loving themselves and how important that is before they enter into a relationship. They think that somebody else is going to complete them instead of understanding that before you can make somebody else happy, you have to be able to be completed within yourself. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I think that loving yourself comes a lot with the way that you feel. And I think it plays a big number with the way that we are raised, the way that we are brought up. As young females, I mean, it goes to everybody, but as young females, we need to be empowered and encouraged and be taught our value early on and our worth and learn about morals and principles. And that way we can hold up our crown up high.
That's true. I feel like a lot of people though, like they weren't taught that because the previous generation, I know speaking for myself, taught that, oh, you have a roof over your head. You know, that's me loving you instead of being affectionate, willy nilly. I feel like a lot of people are like that. So growing up, understanding the importance of loving yourself and how far that can go goes a long way.
That is completely true. Obviously, generations before yours. It's been going on for many, many generations. Unfortunately, as young girls, we are taught things like we should feel shame for our bodies if we show them too much. If we're too confident, we're called conceited. If we feel proud, we're mistaken by cockiness, and it just comes from a root of a lot of problems and a lot of issues generations way before even my generation, where we don't feel that we think that by bringing up our girls, we're just building a monster. At
Yeah.
least that's the way that I felt. Like back in those days, dancing in front of a mirror wasn't allowed. You know what I mean? Dancing in front of a mirror. Why are you being so cocky? Why are you looking at your body that way? Why are you, moving in that matter? And reality is we need to learn to feel comfortable in our own skin. And it starts right there. I know of people that have little children that little kids look the dancers with the crop tops and 5 years old, they want to, oh my God, I want to take off my shirt. I'm hot. And they have like a little crop top. And it's not that the mom is a bad mom, it's that when she was a child, she was taught, no, you're not doing the right thing. Why are you trying to expose yourself? Why are you showing your skin? Why are you doing this and why are you doing that? The way that I see it is completely different. If you allow your 5-year-old to feel confident enough to wear her crop top, especially if she's at home or she's just in dance or in gymnastic or anything like that, which requires for them to wear that type of attire, then you are building up a strong woman, a strong young lady who's going to allow the world to see her body in her own terms. A young girl who's going to work hard, be healthy, work out her body, and everything ties together. If you are young and you work out and you eat healthy and you allow the world to see your body in your own terms, then that makes you super powerful. Unfortunately, um, look at the way that the world has turned out to be today, and still there's moms out there that have no idea, and it's because they went through the same thing being young. They have no idea how to empower and encourage their daughters. Um, and I think that some of us that know how to do it should share that with them. There's nothing wrong with showing, you know what I mean, your body. Obviously, you don't want your child to go out there naked or anything like
Yeah,
that, but it's nothing wrong with being proud. There's nothing wrong with wearing a crop top or a dance gear or anything like that. We should just empower our girls and allow them to feel comfortable in their own skin.
100%. And I think that a lot of that old school mentality, it can be very detrimental and toxic, because then you have these beautiful little girls growing up with body dysmorphia, feeling like they're not worthy, or they're not loved, or that they're not the perfection ideal standard of beauty, when in fact they're just enough. And it's, I feel like once we teach women, and just, I feel like it's both ways, men and women, to love themselves, then when they do come into a relationship or a situation, that they'll just, it'll be healthy, because we have a lot of toxic relationships in 2021. Like, let's keep it real. A
In
lot.
2021 only, toxic toxic
Everything.
relationship relationships is not a new thing, Adriana. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Um, Back in the days, we were taught, especially in third world countries, we were taught to just put up with it. If that's
Yeah.
the man that you chose and you made a mistake and that's the man that you gave yourself to, then you have no other option. You have no other choice but to swallow it, to put up with it, just to take it. And I think that in 2021, we are trying to change that. But
Mhm.
unfortunately, it hasn't, I don't think that it has evolved as much as it should have, because you still see domestic violence very, very, very high. You still see young, beautiful, talented, smart, educated young girls who feel the need to be in a relationship with men that don't even see their value. And it all comes from there. It all comes from that. We are evolving, but very slowly. So we need to put it out there. Self-worth, self-love, um, working on ourselves, not getting into relationships when we're not ready. If you broke up with your boyfriend or the person
Yes.
that you were seeing, you shouldn't go and try to have a relationship with anybody else. You
Oh
should
my
try
God.
to learn to have a relationship.
Can we pause and repeat that? Like, rewind for a second, because I feel like we all know somebody who, after a relationship, hops into another relationship. Oh my goodness
Diana,
gracious.
don't be saying names over here. Don't be saying.
Listen, I'm not that messy, but it's literally, growing up, it was so confusing, because I'm like, I do everything myself. You know what I mean? I'm INDPENT, like independent. I'm an independent brought up in here. Feel me? So to see these girls that are very codependent and need somebody else to feel worthy or enough, I never understood it. And then when I would take the time, because I don't judge. Listen, you do what you want to do. If you don't have to do it with me, don't bother me. But when I took the time to understand, it came from a place of insecurity, or a place of, like, I saw that my mom needed somebody, so I feel like, to be wanted, I need somebody, or I don't like being alone. People are fearful of loneliness and alone time, instead of embracing that. I embrace my loneliness.
I know you do, and I congratulate you for that. Um, Actually, you grow a lot when you are alone. You have to be alone so you can grow. You know what I mean? If you can learn to love yourself, you're not going to be able to love anybody, and that person's not going to be able to love you back. I feel like we are our reflection. We have like a mirror, and what people see is what we feel inside. So if you feel inside that you're not good enough and you're not worthy, then that's where the problem comes. That's when the issues start to happen. And when you come out of a relationship feeling defeated because the man don't told you nobody else is going to want you, or it works both ways. It could be the female telling the man, but I know more females that are taught, hey, who's going to want you? Nobody's going to want you. Somebody's going to want you out there. One thing that me and you were discussing the other day was about the fact that the females think that is their problem. It's like, oh, He didn't want me because I had an issue. He didn't want me. It was my fault. No, not everybody's out there to see your value because
Yes.
God is that good. God hides your value from the men that is not supposed to be a part of your life. Um,
Mhm.
I know that when I met my husband and I was broken from relationships and dating the wrong person and things like that.
Yeah.
And I can just imagine how many people were like, "Oh my God, she's so attitude-ish. Oh my God, she has a lot of growing to do." I was young. I was really young. Oh my God. But from the very beginning, he saw value and worth in me, and he saw a lot of potential that a lot of people were looking at him like, "I don't see it." It's not for everybody to see. Only the man that God has for you is the only one that's going to be able to see this value in you. So let's thank God that not everybody can see it. But because think about it, if just every man could see your value, just imagine how many fakers and pretenders will be out there pretending to be the one.
They still do. It'd be like leech suckers, low key. Like if you think about it, it's low key like the animal system in the animal kingdom. Like we're animalistic, right? So there's different forms of relationships in the animal kingdom. There's parasitic relationships. So like mosquitoes and leeches, what do? They feed off of a host and they drain all
Yep.
that nourishment from their host. People do that too. People are very toxic and they see a light, and what they do, they see something that they don't see in themselves, so they try to drain that out of them until like they can't. I heard this from someone very prolific, and it was wild. So when you go into a relationship with either a very narcissistic or very toxic individual, right? You hop in this relationship,
Hmm.
and we're gonna look at it like money, right? They give you $20. You're like, oh my gosh, no one's ever given me $20 before. This is amazing, right? They take that $20 back and then they damage you, right? And then you're like, I can't deal with this. I'm gonna go. What do? They'll give you $10. You're like, oh, they gave me $10. They care. Oh, they still care, right?
Yep.
Same cycle over and over. But then instead of giving you dollars, I'm giving her quarters, nickels, pennies. And you learn to accept that. And it becomes literally animalistic and like instinctual. Like it starts becoming a cycle. It's wild the way that people can condition us to accept neglect, accept this toxicity. It's wild. It's crazy. The brain's
And
wild.
it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate, but it's reality. It's reality and it happens every single day. The thing is that they try and they see, okay, are you going to take the 20? Can you take 15? Can you take 10? Can you take the quarter instead? They're trying to see. So that's the reason why females, we need to have ground rules. We have to come into the relationship with a vision. Yes, definitely. We have to come
That's
into the relationship with a vision. We cannot be afraid to ask up front and to say what is it that we're looking for and what we want. I'm not telling you to, oh my God, if you're going into the first date, then you're going to tell them, and like, I'm a wife and I'm looking for a husband. Like, you don't want to do no crazy like that.
Why not?
But
No, when men come into it, some dudes be like, I'm not looking for anything serious. And some girls are like, oh, I can change that. No, go ahead and tell them, I want X, Y, and Z. But we're going to get into that next. So let's transition here into boundaries. My favorite topic. Let's look at the beautiful graphic for a second. Wasn't that a beautiful graphic I created? So beautiful. So let's transition to boundaries. Why do you think it's so important to set up boundaries?
just like I was saying, you got to let them know exactly what you want, exactly what you're looking for. When you're not willing to sacrifice, what you're not willing to put up with, when you give them all of that information up front, they're either going to go with it or they're just going to run. It's either or. Most females were so afraid, like, oh my God, he's not going to like me. Or, you know what I mean? It's too early on in the relationship. No, I'm going to make it real simple. If you, if your man, your boyfriend, your date doesn't bring you flowers ever, Valentine's Day, it doesn't matter, your birthday, doesn't ever
Okay,
bring
don't
you
say
flowers.
but.
It doesn't have to be flowers. I'm using flowers as an example because I love flowers. But if
Chocolates.
he's
You
not
better
giving
give
you
me some chocolates. Run them up.
If he doesn't give you any of that, you can't expect that because now something happened and all of a sudden you're pregnant and you guys are going to have to handle this and you're going to be like, listen, I'm pregnant. You got to give me flowers. No, you have to let him know. Stop being afraid. Put it out
Yeah.
there. You'd rather not waste your time. You know what it's like to waste time years and years with somebody that doesn't have a vision, that doesn't want to give you a title, that they
Or
just, let's go with the flow. What do you mean, let's go with the flow? Let's go with the flow means that you're not that important, you're not priority, and that they're not willing to make a commitment when it comes to you. You know what I mean? And it's not that they're not willing to commit. It just happens to be that you're not the one for them. And they
and
know it straight on. But that doesn't mean that you're not cute and that they're not gonna entertain themselves with you. That
then
doesn't
there
mean that
ain't other people. There's other people, other fish in the sea, 100%. If you go on these apps, you see all these people in your nearby area. There are fish in the sea. Take advantage. You don't need that headache. There's a lot of women. I feel like, especially when you're in your early 20s or like your teen years, you go through that. Oh, but if I don't do X, Y, and Z, he's not going to like me, or he's going to like X, Y, and Z over me. Okay, so what? I had to learn the hard way. And when I mean the hard way, I mean the hard way. I literally wasted time in so many like relationships, whether it was friendship relationships or like me trying
mm-hmm.
to seek interest in somebody else, by not letting the rules, I was like a go with the flow type of person. I was like, yo, if something happens, cool. If not, it is what it is, but I low key want something to happen. But I would never speak up because, first of all, I got that wall up. I was guarded like a mug, and my expectation was, all right, let's see how much time you're willing to put in to put this wall down. But I wouldn't meet them halfway because I was like, no, I want you to meet me 100% of the way. So I know my faults in my area, and I corrected myself accordingly. But yeah, a
But
lot of
it's
us.
sad, Adriana, that a lot of people don't see it like that. Like you, I know that you said that it was a waste of your time. You were wasting your time with a person that was never going to see your value. But the thing is that some of us learn from those mistakes, and that was the point. The point was for you to learn from those mistakes, and those mistakes to prepare you so you can to have a better judgment next time.
Yeah,
So people don't play with you, play with your feelings. But most females, it's
don't play
unfortunate
with people.
that they just keep stepping in the same puddle every single day. And they always get attracted to the same type of men. I'm here to say, don't be afraid to ask for everything you want and dream of. Don't be afraid. You're not looking. I'm not telling you, oh my God, if he's not a millionaire, don't date the guy. That's not what I'm saying. But if you have some guy that is broke and lazy, you got no business even talking or entertaining that guy. I'm not saying don't encourage him. You can do that as a friend. But if you
Mhm.
like him too much, don't get involved not even as a friend because they have a way to pull you in. And then you're attracted to the guy. He's not getting any better. He's not doing anything. He doesn't have a vision. He doesn't have any dreams. He's not trying to do nothing from himself. He's sitting there doing absolutely nothing. What are you expecting from something like that? You can't be expecting much.
Yeah. And we're not saying, listen, ladies, gentlemen, we're not saying that if you broke, don't go for the broke dudes. There's some broke dudes who trying and hustling and making their own, right? But as long as they have what you said, that vision, goal, motivation, they see something for themselves. A man who doesn't have a goal or a plan
I
for
said
himself,
broke and lazy. You can
yes,
be broke but not lazy. Broke and lazy is a terrible combination. You don't want to be with broke and lazy. A man that is disrespectful to females and has no respect for his mom, you shouldn't be with that guy because if he can't even respect the woman that gave birth to him, why would you expect him to respect you or value you? So there are signs out there that we're not supposed to ignore. They're out there for a reason. And when God changes your vision and keeps pushing you away, please listen and pay attention. We all make mistakes, but we all supposed to learn from those mistakes. And those mistakes,
yeah,
so-called mistakes, prepare you. They prepare you for life and for you to have a better choice and for you to see the one once he shows up and for you to be ready for the one, to learn to appreciate the man that God has for you.
that part. You have to understand the struggle in order to appreciate the victory.
That's right.
That's
You have to definitely appreciate it.
yeah. A lot of people give Cardi like a lot of flack, but I think one thing that she's like always said and like acknowledged, like even back in her love and hip hop days, you know, back when she was on VH1, you feel me? She's always said that like the iconic scene where she's on the couch with Peter, and she's like, a lot of men want to use women, so you know what? I got bills that I need paid too. You feel me? And a lot of people gave her flack for that, but like, it's true. I mean, look at where she's at now. She's married. She got a beautiful baby. She's living her life. You feel me? So I feel like you got to respect yourself and understand your worth and value. And I think this is a perfect segue for our next topic. And our
But
next topic
let me
is
tell you something about that. Let me tell you something about that before
what?
you go to the next topic. My respect, love, and respect for Cardi B. We know where she comes from. We know how powerful she is. I applaud her for everything that she's doing. Um, but one thing is that what I advise females is you don't have to get down to the level of the men, because at the end of the day, you are the female and you are a queen, and you have to always wear your crown right. You shouldn't have to go and try to do things as the men do it just so you
Yeah.
can be like, I can do it too. Money is not everything. You know what I mean? But you know that your temple, your body, your soul, your feelings, your emotion, that is really important. And when you start mixing that and entertaining all these clowns, what do you think happens to your soul, to your body, to the way that you feel? There's soul ties. There's a lot of things going on out there, and that is strong. People think like, oh, I'm having sex and that's it. No, that's a very strong and spiritual thing
Yeah.
to have sex with somebody. You're opening your body to somebody. And what do you think, that they don't reach deep into your soul? They
Yeah.
do. And then you got soul ties, and you got all these feelings, and you got all these nightmares, and a lot of things happening to you. I know of a lot of people that have talked to me having dreams about being raped. I don't know. I was in the car and some random guy just came and raped me. And dreams, really, really nasty and vivid dreams. Why do you think are you having those dreams? Who are you getting yourself involved with? A married man, a man that is not for you, a man that doesn't value you, a man that is only taking advantage of you and using your body. And deep down, you don't want to know, but you know it. Because if a man calls you at 5 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, never calls you for anything else, and he calls you at that time, what do you think he's looking for?
Gotta cut them off.
Come
Listen,
on.
it's wild. I mean, there are some women. I do know some women that literally just like they don't put any emotions attached because they train themselves so well that they just sleep with somebody just because they want to. You know, they have no
Yes,
emotions.
yes. But over time, when you switch and switch and switch and switch and switch, just think about it.
I'm not
It's
saying
not good
I
for you.
personally wouldn't do it. I'm just saying, you know, that's your preferences.
Yeah,
I
more
could.
power to you. Do what you got to do. I'm not one to judge anybody. I listen to everybody. I try to give my advice. If you take it, great. If not, it's still okay. I'm not here to
Right.
judge anybody. But what I'm saying is that it's not only sex. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not that simple.
Yeah.
You end up getting attached to people. Why do you think that a lot of people go like, oh, this man, he doesn't do this for me? I had somebody tell me like, I've been dating this guy for like a year, and he only calls me and we hang out and we drive by McDonald's. Hey, McDonald's. And I want to order from the dollar menu, and he tells me no. So I'm good
Wait.
enough for you. I'm good enough for
Pause.
you. That yes,
He
yes, yes. I'm
literally
sorry.
consider a dollar menu item. Yo, we talking
You're
about
not valuable. He doesn't see your value. You're not
not
valuable.
even
I'm not saying, but that's what I'm saying. Why? Why should he do that for you? He doesn't see your value. He only calls you when he calls you. He always calls you at that time. You guys always hang out. You already gave him what he was looking for. Why would you expect for him to spend a dollar on you? It could be for the people that have tons of money. It could be 1,000. It could be 10,000. But you know what I mean? It's not even about the dollar, which is insignificant. It's about the principle. You get what I'm saying?
I wish I would interact with a man who wouldn't get me a snack wrap from the dollar menu.
Uh-huh.
Like,
There's men like that. There's men
what?
like that. Yes,
Yo,
there's men like that. You don't even know
but
the
why
things I hear every single day.
but why would people want to interact with dudes like that? Like, it just
There
blows.
I go. There I go. There I go. What do you think? Once you taste it and you like it and you like that feeling while you're doing your little thing, then you get attached. There's a lot of people that get completely attached. They don't like the way you treat them, but they have like, it's almost like a drug. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? They got
I see.
this attachment that is wrong with you. And it's like a drug, like you're trying to clear your body, you're trying to clean yourself, but you need the drug. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
the best thing to do in a situation like that is to detach yourself from that person, to not answer the phone. If you can move, move, run, move. You know what I mean? If you can change your phone number, change it. If he reaches out in social media, block him, because you need to like detox and purge. You know what I mean? You need to go to rehab, basically, so you can get him out of your system. It's not about that you love him. You might think, oh my God, I love him. No, it's a need. It's a crave that you have for him, for his presence. Even when he mistreat you, you don't know that there's girls that want the men to hit them. No, 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 hit me, hit me. Why? Why would you want that? Why would you want that? It's sad. It's really sad.
wow. That's
It's
just
really sad.
wild.
So
That is just
we need to pull away. You got to pull away from relationships like that. Those relationships are toxic. Those relationships are never going to amount much. They're not going to become anything better. Like I said earlier, you don't go on the first day like a cycle, because you don't even know if you want to see that guy. So you can go on the first day. Dates are for you to collect data. That's the way I see it. You go on a date with somebody, is the truth. You go on a date with somebody, you want to get to know them. You want to make sure that you can have a conversation with them. What am I going to do sitting and having a glass of wine, cheers, with a glass of wine with a man that can't even hold a conversation? We're in a restaurant, there's some music playing. I want to know, I want to know what's in your head. I want to know what your plans are. I want to know your vision. I want to know, uh, I just want you to tell me. I want to see if you can hold a conversation. You know what I mean? You can't think that everything is just the physical and everything is just the sex. You know what I mean? In order to have a very long relationship and a good one, you got to be able to have really good communication. And that doesn't mean that the guy needs to be, oh my God, public speaking, a communicator. It doesn't have to be none of that. And even if the struggles happen, this man is supposed to be able to at least try to communicate with you and work to, elevate his communication skills with you. But there's men that they just like, I don't even want to discuss it. I don't want to talk about it. How are you supposed to grow like that?
yeah.
You can't grow like that.
No, I feel that. That's wild. I can't even believe of interacting with somebody who wouldn't get me a dollar fry because food's my love language. If anybody knows that, they know.
Is it doesn't matter, but look at it. How insignificant is a dollar? If you see somebody in the street in need of a dollar, you will hand them one, you will hand them $5. You can even give them 10. But for somebody that is using you for your body and for their own satisfaction, to not want to spend after he spent hours with you, to not want to spend one single dollar on you, if you don't get the picture there, I don't know what else to tell you.
That's yeah, that's the extreme. That's like you been need to leave because oh my goodness, freaking I'm still stuck on the value fry. Like what? Like that's why you know what? That's why Sweetie said that's my type. That's my type. 5 figures. Yes, that's my type. You feel me?
That's
But
right. That's right. Everybody
that's
has a type. Hey,
that's not my. I don't. I don't have a type. I don't. I
oh
swear,
my
I
God.
really don't have a type. My type, literally, like there's a song. It's called "I Don't Got No Type." Hey, like only bad is the only thing that I
So
like.
you're gonna tell me that you're not looking, you don't have certain qualities that you're looking for in a guy,
No, because my type
Adriana?
varies. So listen. My type varies. My type could be from a Michael B. Jordan to a
We're
freaking
talking about
Noah
physical.
Noah
We're talking
Centineo.
about. You're talking about the physical. We've gone beyond the physical. Your type should always be, for my type has to be smart.
Oh,
You know what I mean? My type has to be smart. He needs to be a romantic. He needs to be caring. He needs to be an encourager. He needs to be a visionary. He needs to have a purpose in life. I like my man to know what he wants and to always work towards pursuing his dreams. I don't like men that give up. I don't like men that quit. You get what I'm
yeah.
saying? So I do have a lot of things that I look into in a man. Obviously, I already found mine, 17 years and counted. So I'm very happy about that. But your type should always involve that. Forget about the physical because you know what I mean? You have to be attracted to your man. I'm not saying don't be attracted to your man, but just like you said, you got to be attracted. If you're going to deal with him, you got to be attracted to him.
Nah,
But,
he gotta be ugly. He gotta be ugly so nobody else flirts with him. I'm done with good, attractive men.
no,
Ugly men.
no.
Ugly teddy bear. That way, no other broad try to get up on my man because I'm very jealous. You come up on my man, guess what happens? We gonna have problems, and I'm gonna take it back to the hood.
If it's your man, it doesn't matter who approaches him. He's not even going to look that way because your man, the right man for you, will only have eyes for you. I'm not
I
even
don't.
playing. He could look and be like, oh, wow, she looks good. She looks elegant. But your man should always only have eyes for you when it comes to like, this man
But
that
I'm
want to make love. No, you got to make you, the only person you should be thinking about making love is me. You get what
these
I'm saying? If
females
you're
are
my man,
streets. You don't understand. These females are mad
I
shiesty, so
understand.
I don't care
I
about the
was
main.
young. I went to the clubs and I saw females trying to hang up on my man. Yes, and trying to talk and trying to say hi. And that was perfectly fine as long as you know them.
I'm weak. As long as you know them. But what is that? Yo, funniest thing ever happened. I went out to a jip, right? We were at the spot. And then we were at the some dude was trying to buy me and my friend a drink or whatever. And then some girl, right? She was like this Model S tall female, gorgeous, right? She walks up. And this was the most attractive thing that he could have done, right? He was just like, unbothered. And my heart melted. I was like, oh my gosh, that was so attractive. Like, oh my god, that's so attractive. But anyways, let's move along to the next topic since we got ahead of ourselves.
Ooh,
This topic,
love
the love
language.
languages. Yes, do you know your love language?
Yeah. Do you?
Of course I do. I have many. What do you mean? What are your love languages?
Uh, what can I say? I like when I obviously I have kids. You know what I mean? One of the things that my kids, like my oldest daughter always says is that she tells, when she's dating somebody, is that she grew up in a household where her parents were very affectionate or still are very affectionate with each
Yeah.
other. Holding hands, hugging, kissing, you know what I mean? Laying together to watch a movie with the family by ourselves. We date all the time. Tomorrow we're gonna have a Valentine's Day dinner here in my house. That I prepare the table and everything, so it's all set up. I just need to do the cooking tomorrow. So
Me and my boyfriend are too. Oh my gosh. Me and my boyfriend are too. You want to see my boyfriend? I'm gonna show you my boyfriend.
yes, show me your boyfriend.
Boyfriend, come here, boyfriend. Where boyfriend at?
Oh my
Boyfriend,
God, Gianna.
boyfriend. My aunt wants to see you, boyfriend. Come
Yeah,
here.
boyfriend. Yeah, right. Oh my God, don't
Boyfriend.
tell me she's gonna bring a pet.
His name is Billy. This is my boyfriend. So me and boyfriend are gonna be watching Netflix tomorrow. Yeah, yeah.
What's his name? Billy?
I don't know. Yeah, Billy. His name's Billy.
Okay. Hey,
That's my.
you, you, en español dicen, mejor sola que mal acompañada.
See,
Do you know what that means? Do you know what
better
that
by
means?
better by yourself. Yes, I'm better by
Better,
myself.
then what? Yep,
Yo, I'm weak.
definitely. So
So your physical touch and your acts of service probably too.
What was that?
Your physical touch is your love language as well as acts of service.
Yeah, and also, talking. Like I text my husband all the time, or he texts me, or he just calls me to tell me, I was just thinking about you, I love you, or
Or
whatever.
words.
Like we do a lot of that. Exactly, but my husband loves it. Like he feels like, oh my God, oh wow, you prepare the table. Oh my God, you bring it. Or like I wake him up sometimes for breakfast, and he's like
Yeah.
sleeping still. On the weekend, I'm like, well, I gotta go, because I do so many things for the children. I gotta
Mm-hmm.
go, drive to dance or whatever. But I made you breakfast, and I bring it in a tray. He's like, oh boy, he feels, you know what I mean. He feels complete when I do things like that for him. For the 31st of December. First
Mm-hmm.
time that he does that, I mean, I get flowers, but he showed up with a whole bunch of flowers. And I was like, what happened? And he was like, I want you to start the year like this. And I was like, okay, hey, who am I to say no? I agree. You know what I mean? Great. So,
No, I feel that.
but
I know
definitely,
it's important to know your love language as well as your partner's love language. Like I know my love language is it's changed over the years. So I used to be words of affirmation
gifts.
was like my most important. Like I need someone to like affirm to me. Yeah, but now it's changed. Now it's acts of service. I want your actions to speak louder than your words, and quality time. I love
Mhm.
quality time. I feel like a lot of people, they say they're going to do something, but they don't do it. And I'm big on like action speaking louder than words nowadays. So give me your quality time. Give me your acts of service. You feel me? And the way I show love, though, the way I show love is differently. I show love through gift giving and quality time. So, like, if I'm thinking about you, it doesn't have to necessarily be extravagant gifts. But if I see something and it reminds me of you, then I'm gonna go ahead and like I'm gonna get it and then surprise you because that's just for me. Or if I'm out somewhere and like I have food, like I'll buy food and it'll be for both of us or something like that. Like I just thought of you. You know what I mean? Like I'm just very
Yes.
like that. So that's my love language, and my love language is to receive and
But
give. Yes, right,
but do you
Billy?
see
And
how
that's
you're
what Billy's gonna
growing?
do.
Do you see how you're growing? You're learning because your love language is very different now from what it used to be. You know what I mean? And that it shows your growth. There's a lot of people that their love
Yeah,
language is the gift. Like, you didn't get me a gift, like, so you're not loving me. No, the
yeah,
most thing that I'm like, for me, it's a must is the flowers. But the flowers is not more important than the quality time.
yes.
It's
What do you
not.
think about having tags on your
I
boyfriend?
having what?
The tags on your boyfriend, like tracking your man's, like always knowing where your man's at all times.
No. What is that?
It's because you
I
trust
don't.
your
I don't.
man.
Mm-mm.
That's why you trust him. You're in a healthy
You
relationship. Not
shouldn't
every.
be. You shouldn't be with a man that you don't trust. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be with a man that you don't trust because you're gonna go crazy. I had a friend. I'm not gonna mention it. I have a lot of friends, but I had a friend who found out. She found out that something her man was fooling around with somebody, and because of it, she was always out of work. Like if work started at 8, she was at my house at 9 in the morning, sick. In her mind, she was sick. But what she
Yeah,
was doing was trying to find out what the man was doing. And it didn't get any better. It got worse and it got worse and it got worse and it got worse to the point that that worse came up and ended up in a divorce.
yeah,
So if you can trust them, you shouldn't be with him. If I have
facts.
to be on top of you all the time, like finding out or checking your phone, I'm not saying that like I don't know my husband's password. I've never asked for it. But he told me one time, hey, can you unlock my number and get me this and that? What's the code? And I unlock it or whatever. He leaves his computer there. I leave my computer there. We've been together for so many years. But if somebody calls me on my phone, he's not like, oh my God, who's calling? No, none of that. If somebody's calling him, I don't do that either. There's a lot of trust. You can have a solid, long lasting, beautiful relationship if you don't can trust. If there's no trust, no trust, no communication, no relationship.
Period, Pooh. You know what's funny? I'm the opposite. I'm not gonna tell you that I know what I know. I'm gonna gather my receipts, and then one day when you're off at work or on a trip, You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and pack up all my ish and block you on everything. You'll never see or hear from me ever again, and you'll just think I went missing. But then I'll leave you a note so you know, yeah, I know, bitch. Here's the receipts. So never try me on that stuff because I'm
I
very
like that. You know
rude.
why I like that, Adriana? You know why I
Because
like that? Because somebody once told me when I was very young, and this came from a male that me and you both know, told me
oh God.
if if you allow the man to explain to you why he cheated, you're gonna
Oh,
be
he'll
right
drag you
back
back.
there.
Hell yeah. They are so smooth with their words. Don't ever, ever, ever. Listen, that's why, listen, girls who
Nope.
are in college have it the roughest, especially if you go to a small college. I'm going to tell you why. Because they always going to be around till graduation day. After you graduate, you ain't never going to see them again. Like by high school, yo, you never got to see anybody from high school ever again, especially if you leave. Like you dip and leave. I've had it. The only people I've seen from high school are people I've chose to see again. I don't got to run and see no one I don't want to see. You feel me? So
Yep.
yes,
That's
peace out. Peace out. But that just be blowing me. All right, let's move
have
on.
you ever, Adriana?
Have I
Have
ever
you
what?
ever allowed a man? Have you ever allowed a man to explain to you why he did wrong?
Yeah, because I was stupid and young, and stupid and young, and like I said, I
We
was
all
in
go through it. And
like
let
it
me ask
what?
you something.
Oh my gosh!
But let me ask you something. When he explained why and you understood and you went back there, did he do it again?
No, listen to this, all right? Because I'm smart with the ish, so I'm the type of broad. I'm just gonna let it build up and build up because I want to gain my receipts. I'm not going to ever look stupid. I want those receipts to look like a flip book, right? Like a magazine. That's how we're gonna do it up in
Hmm.
here. So once
Hmm.
I gather it, I want you to say something. And once you say something that I know is a lie, oh, really? Because that's why X, Y, and Z happened yesterday. But I thought you were with X, Y, and Z, huh? Oh, that's funny because I heard you were X, blah, blah, blah. And then the look on their face. And this is the thing that kills me. If they say, who told you that? Instead of saying that ain't true, if that's the first thing to come out of their mouth, they're lying, dump them in a dumpster. Like, you know, don't ever try to lie to me. You lie to my man. Especially if a woman's asking you, it's because they already know. They're not asking you for you to tell them. They ask you to see if you're being honest. And if you're not being honest, guess what? Then they have every right to react.
They're not going to risk it, Adriana. They'd rather play it, play dumb until the end of it. Why would you risk it? I mean, if you end up saying yes, it happened, you already in trouble. The man, they're not going to risk it. You have
No.
to cut them in the act, basically, for them to be like, oh, I don't know what I was doing. I must have been drunk. Like, I hear so many guys that say things like that. Oh,
That's the
I was
stupidest.
drunk. I don't know what happened.
I hate that excuse because when I'm lit, guess what? I still know what I'm doing. You do what you
Of
do, and
course
you're
you
a
do.
period.
Of course you do.
Period.
They blame it on the female as well. You think that they don't blame it on the you think they don't blame it on the female? They blame it on the female, Adriana.
Oh, she's trying to come on to me.
It was
Yeah,
you had some
you
gift on this
say
and that.
no. That's why
They
if you
blame it
got
on
a
the female.
make sure your man wears a belt. Because if he wears a belt and he still cheated, listen, he wears a belt and still cheated. That means he had to take extra time to take off his belt to cheat, which means he had extra time to think about cheating, which means you are trash, basura. Period.
Just don't give them the opportunity. You know, I'm not gonna say that there's not men out there that made a mistake once, something happened, they were in a bad situation, and then they redeemed themselves, and then they've been married for forever. Oh my God, I learned my lesson. I almost lost my wife. I want nothing to do with that. They learned their lesson. There's a few men like that. You know what I mean? But most men, when they cheat, that's what they do. They cheat.
I don't have.
Especially when they don't think that you're the one.
Yeah, I don't got the stamina for that because when women cheat, like men, like they're too prideful to forgive majority of the time. You feel me? Like, why do
Mhm.
women have to be such these like forgiving beings? Like, why do we always have to take that L, take that chip? I'm straight. No, I'm good. You do me once, and guess what? You will never see
Mhm.
me. That's your punishment. Your punishment is you lose me forever. You lose my personality. You lose my communication. You lose my cooking, my G. Because a lot of these millennials and Gen Zers don't know how to cook no more. They be Uber eating and everything. So you gonna lose my sazon, adobo, and you can eat trash.
They're gonna lose you
That's my
completely.
word of advice.
And that's the
Word.
thing. The thing is, Adriana, that when you know your value, you know that. Because you know your value, you know that they are the ones that are losing. But what happens to the females that still don't know their value? They won't be able to understand. They're going to feel like, oh my God, I'm losing him. He was so great. There's a lot of females that need validation because they don't know their worth. And they need that man, even when they're like abusing you emotionally, they need that man to like validate. Yeah,
Yeah.
because a lot, oh, you're fat.
A
And the
lot of
girl's not
pretty
even,
girls too. A lot of pretty girls be letting these men go ahead and tell them you ain't ish, and guess what? They believe them. Like, girl, look at yourself in the mirror. You a bad bitch. But just like she sung. Anyways, know
but
when to
that's what
let
I'm saying. You got it. You have to know your value and you have to start there. I think that you need to try to find out where you want to go in life and what type of relationship you want to have. And another thing is always, it doesn't matter if you're in the dating phase, always walk as a wife. Always put the ground rules, always have boundaries,
yeah,
always let the men know exactly what you're looking for. A man
yeah,
that doesn't display a vision that has like, oh, just see where we going. Don't even entertain that. Let's
right.
just see where we going. What about if we end up nowhere? 10 years later, we end up nowhere.
Yeah, it's wild. Just know when to let go because that's the best feeling when it's something's toxic and you
It's
just like
difficult.
yeah, it is difficult. And I know like
It's
because
difficult.
I've been on the receiving and I've been on the outside view. You know what I mean? I've had friends that I
Hmm.
literally would be there when they would be falling over a guy and I'm just like, sis, do you know who you are? Like, first off, I have to tell them, I'm like, first off, I'm gonna let you know I ain't friends with no basic ass broads. All right, let that be clear. So if you're my friend, then you know what that means. That means you not basic. So get yourself together, put yourself in, and let's go somewhere. Let's go on an adventure. I've had to do that a lot of times, right?
Do you know
Because
why? But do you know why so many boyfriends have a problem when females have friends, especially if they're friends like you or me?
it's not
It's
even
because
boyfriend.
we are the type. No, it could be anybody that they consider important. It's because we remind them every single day of their value and their worth. And the men don't like that because they're like, okay, I'm working her out in the sense that if I cheat or do whatever I do, she's still going to be there because she doesn't understand her value. But when she has friends like you, they're like, I don't want you to go with her. And then you know what happens? The men don't ever have
Like,
time for them. But the minute they find out, oh, they're going to go out with Adriana and have fun, and Adriana's just, they encourage her and reminding her that, oh my God, that she's great, then they come up with a date. Oh, I wanted to take you out on a date today. Oh, you going with it? Oh, that's too bad. I already bought the tickets. And that's when the female needs to remember, like, wait a minute. So you're calling me at 5 o'clock to tell me that you bought tickets for 8 o'clock tonight. You know, us females, we take our time. You're not even respecting the fact that I have plans, and you shouldn't respect your friends because the ones that are there for you while you are in this toxic relationship is your girls. You don't have nothing solid with
say
the
that
guy.
again, please. Say that again. Please do not forget, ladies and gents, do not forget who was there for you when you were crying, when you were down and out, when you felt the lowest of lows, when you feel back to normal, and when you're done from complacency. I can't stand like I said, like with relationships, right? Because tomorrow's the big day and a lot of people like they get sad around this time because they're like, "Oh, I'm
They
alone."
shouldn't.
Don't embrace it.
They
Embrace it. Like
shouldn't.
love and look at it for other relationships too. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to just think about, oh, I want a man to ask me to be his Valentine. We need to go back to the days of elementary school when we gave our whole classroom Valentines that said you rock
Ah,
and you're the best. I miss those days because everyone got love. Everyone. You had to give everyone a Valentine's. I always gave everyone the best Valentines, gave everyone the best
that's
snacks.
right.
I had the best snacks. I had the best
The best
Valentine.
candy,
I had the
the
best
best
food.
candy.
I would be bringing food and snacks to school. And people would be like, "Oh, AD got the snacks." Yes, I got the snacks. I'm going to hook you up. Anyways, but
I think
no,
that tomorrow is not only for the people that have partners that are in love. I think
no.
that no, I think that if you don't have significant other, you can go out with your girls.
Your
It's
girls are
also a place
turned up.
exactly. You can go out with your girls. You never know. You can go and hang out. You can spend quality time. And if you don't want to go out with anybody, don't sit down and be like, oh, so depressing Valentine's Day and I don't have anybody. No, look at it from a positive point of view.
Yes.
One day you're going to have somebody because you're waiting, because you're not just jumping out there to, oh, I'm here. Okay, let's go with you. One day you're going to have somebody worthy of your time, worthy of your love.
You want to hear a funny
So
story? So when I
go
was,
ahead.
yeah, it's so funny. When I was in college and in high school and younger, right, I would
Mhm.
dedicate Valentine's Day to locking myself in my room, having bags of chips, ice cream, and chocolate, and watch all my favorite sad movies so I could cry. It was Valent Cry Day for me. And I remember my freshman year of college, my first year of college. I was in my room and it was dark. My roommate wasn't there, and I was like, have the room to myself so I can be there and cry. I literally went to Walgreens, got my chocolate chips and ice cream, and do my tradition, what I always do. I hear a banging on my door. I'm like, what the hell? What are you doing? It's my homegirls. So a couple of my homegirls, they came in. They're like, "What are you doing? Why is it dark? Oh my gosh, you have a whole bunch of junk." I'm like, "Leave me alone. I stay in my room and I don't want to be bothered." They're like, "Oh my gosh, you are so dramatic." And I'm like, "So what? This is me." And I'm watching like P.S. I Love You or something because that's what I watch every Valentine's Day
Oh
to
my
cry.
God. Oh
Yeah,
my
that movie
God.
makes me cry from start to finish. So, but they went out and they had like a Valentine's Girls Day, but I wanted to be alone and have my
I
own.
think we learned that from the movies
Yeah,
because that's what we see in the movies. We learned
yeah,
that from the movies. And we shouldn't encourage that type of behavior. You shouldn't be sad that you're by yourself. You'd rather be by yourself than be with a man that doesn't value you. Think about it. What are you
true.
going to do? You know how sad it is to be on Valentine's Day and to know that your man abuses you physically, mentally, emotionally, that your man's cheating on you, that your man, yeah, don't forget that was Valentine's Day, that he didn't have anything ready for you. And I'm not talking about spending money or buying
Yeah,
expensive gifts. Bring one rose. Bring one rose. Do something. You spend quality time. You know what I mean? So I think that that's when you should cry. You should cry if you're in a relationship like that. But if you're by yourself, self love. Self love and prepare for that great man that God has in store for you. He's
I'm
out there.
preparing
I'm
myself
sure he is.
tomorrow. Tomorrow
Walk
is
as a
my
queen.
day.
Walk as a queen,
Tomorrow.
and one day you'll find your husband.
Oh, for sure. But that's the thing. I don't want to
Yeah,
find. I want it to be natural. I'm not looking for nobody. You
exactly.
go.
But you're not going to find it. But what I'm saying is, if you walk as a queen, your husband will show up. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying? If you're acting a fool, entertaining these jokers and these clowns, your man could pass you by and you won't even realize it because you're too caught up. If I'm
yeah.
holding this phone and you're passing me something else and I got my hands full of things, how am I supposed to hold what you're giving me? You
That's true.
can. So let go of that toxic relationship of these jokers and these clowns and just work on yourself and prepare yourself for the man that God is going to bring you. He's going to find you, actually. You're the rib that he's missing. He's going to find you.
Yes, and that's from the married perspective. Period. Pooh. Oh my gosh, it's been
Married.
fun.
That's right.
Yes, because
And
she is.
we can all get there. We can all get there. Don't rush it. That's another thing. There's females, there's females that like, and like I'm telling you, I know a few. I'm in a relationship for like 3, 4, 5, 6 months, but
Mhm.
I want to get engaged. What? How are you gonna get engaged? You're still getting to know this guy. For all you know, this guy's an actor. He's acting, he's pretending. What's the rush? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So don't rush it. And sometimes you're like engaged and about to get married and it doesn't happen and everything falls apart. Get on your knees and thank the Lord. Why? Because you were about to get in a relationship with that person that wasn't there, that wasn't for you. Now you got to deal with the divorce. Now you got to take the time. You know what I mean? It's not as fun as getting married. Getting a divorce is not the same as getting married. It's a sad thing. Regardless if you want to walk away, it's not something to celebrate. You know what I mean? For some women, yeah, oh my God, finally, that cycle or whatever. But don't rush it. Take your time. Obviously, like I said earlier, you should have this
Yeah.
talk early on in the relationship. But that doesn't mean that because we have to talk, we're going to get married tomorrow. That doesn't mean that we're going to rush it. Take your steps,
Yeah.
but continue moving forward with the relationship. And obviously, there's little signs that happen throughout the early stages of the relationship before you get to marriage. Pay attention to those. Because if a guy didn't respect you as a girlfriend, as a date, what are you getting yourself into? What are you expecting is going to happen? That he's going to change because you sign
Mm.
a piece of paper? He's not going to change.
No, it's true. Let's
You
go
know how many
into
girls
my.
out there, how many girls out there that think that because they signed a piece of paper that things are it's not gonna change. That doesn't change any man.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Again, it goes back to the beginning. You have to love yourself. So there's that. Let's go
Exactly.
into our last segment. Okay, so since we have an amazing life coach here, let's ask from the married perspective and get some questions rolling. All right, so girl comes to you, right? And she wants to know, I got married. How is it possible? Is it normal for when you're married for like it to like fade away? What can I do to get that spark back?
No, it's not okay for it to fade away. It's not normal, to be honest with you. When you get married, it's for life. So you have to build up your relationship slowly, day by day. You have to have communication with your partner. You have to have respect. You have to exchange ideas. You have to talk about your day. You have to spend time, quality time. You have to build up your bond. So when you guys are like pulled apart from each other, it's
Hmm.
because neither of you are doing your part. How do you have a relationship for 17, 25, 50 years with a person and still be completely in love with them? It's
Yeah.
because you have to keep your partner interested and in
Yeah.
love. You have to do things for each other. You need to show each other that you still care, that you still love them. You know what I mean? Um,
Hmm.
when I gave birth to my first son, you know what I mean, to my husband and I's son, um, it's very difficult to keep a relationship uh, spark going because he just
Yeah.
had a baby. Now the baby saw the men and this and that. The first thing I noticed was the way he looked at me. He already looked at me incredible, but the way he looked at me as he saw his son, it was just like,
Hmm.
I was like, oh my God, like his love just like grew and it was already huge, that much more. The love and the
Yeah.
respect and the appreciation to see me bring our son that, came from so much love to get it together into this world. And then the baby cries, you know what I mean? And the baby's blue, all the type of stuff like postpartum depression, which I don't think I had that because I was
Yeah.
just so happy. I was just so happy. My husband was helping me so much. But you get a little bit down because you're like, oh my God, I got to lose weight. Oh my God, I don't feel good. Oh my God, I don't feel pretty. And then you don't sleep and this and that. That can break a marriage if it's not solid. That's why it's important not to rush. If your relationship is not solid, a baby in the middle taking away from your man and taking away from you guys, thinking about each other, can definitely make the relationship go sideways because you guys didn't build the bond strong enough. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's why it's important to like take your time and to always remember that that baby came from your love. And if that baby right now needs so much attention because it's a newborn, a beautiful newborn, then you need to understand that that time is going to pass. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But always work on building your relationship. Always work on having dates. Always, you know what I mean? Don't do things rushed. Like there's couples that are like, okay, when the kids go to bed, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be sleeping in the baby's room. You just
Mhm.
text, I'll text you and I'll come over to the room and that's it. And then I'll go back to the other room. Like, that's not a date. What's that? You know what I mean? That's not a date. Have a day, spend some time, have something to eat, sit down, talk, enjoy a book, watch a movie, something together. It doesn't matter what it is, it doesn't matter what it is. The two of you
Yeah.
should enjoy it and continue to build.
Yeah. I like that. What about people who like they're well off, they're married, and they feel like they let themselves go? What advice do you have for them?
Take back your power. That's the most that I can think of. Take back your power. It comes to a point in life where you're gonna be defeated.
Yeah.
But what else can you go when you feel defeated? Where else can you go? You're already on the ground. You know what I mean? So if you're gonna fall down, just make sure that you fall on your back so you can look up. That way you can get up and you just head in that direction. If you let yourself go, take baby steps. We all do it. You think it's easy to have 4 kids and to have to do this and do that. And you sometimes you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, I'm not even half the woman I used to be. It doesn't have to be that way. A lot of women, when they turn 50, yeah, 50, I'm not even there yet. When they turn 50, they started living their best life.
Yeah.
At 50, they got healthy, they started eating better, they exercised, they took care of their skin, their hair, they started, doing their makeup or natural, whatever you choose, whatever, you know what I mean, you like doing. So if you feel that you let yourself go, take back your power. Baby steps. It's like when I tell people, like, oh my God, I want to start eating healthy. Start by drinking water. You got to start somewhere. Make
Yeah.
sure that you always drink half your body weight of water. Start there. What do you mean? But how am I going to lose weight? You have to start somewhere because you got to build up a habit. It's the same way.
Yeah.
Start by doing 10-minute exercises, 15 minutes. There's people that want to start with a crazy workout. Their body's not used to it. It had happened to me. Like, oh my God, what happened? I used to work out. Your body's not used to it. Start
Yeah.
slowly. What can you do? Okay, today I'm going to do 10 push ups, 10 sit ups, 10 squats, and 10 of something else. That's
Yeah.
it. You did something today. It's better than nothing. And as you build up, you start adding, but you need to make goals that are realistic, because when you set yourself up for failure, you're going to quit, you're going to give up, and then you're going to feel worse than when you started, because now you couldn't even do it. So start slowly. You let yourself go. Take one day out of the week where you decide to take a bath. Tell your husband, Saturdays or Friday or Sunday, whatever day you choose, I need the day to myself. And if you can't do the day for yourself because you guys have babies, you need 2 hours, 1 hour. You got to start somewhere.
That's true. Wow. Who has 4 kids?
I know I have 4 kids.
You
I
have four
mean,
kids?
my oldest is not that much of a kid no more, but I'm still a mother of 4.
What? You're a mother of four
Oh yeah,
lives. You don't
yeah,
play.
you know that. You know that.
You're
Hey,
not
I'm
a.
I'm trying not to let myself go.
Yeah, you haven't.
I'm trying to work on myself. I'm trying. No, at times I feel like I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm so focused and devoted to my children and my husband and my house and the things that I want to do and working, especially on my kids. Like, okay, you guys finding your purpose early in life. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Work on this. Is that what you like? Let's work on it. Let's, do it at the next level. Sometimes you're like, I found myself thinking like, oh my God, when was the last time, like a shower, but when was the last time that I actually enjoy a bath? You know what I mean? With music, with a glass of wine or some champagne or something. When was the last time that I actually took the time to do like the night routine for like my skincare routine? Like
Yeah.
I'm over here putting everything as I'm running, yelling, and we need to take time because if we don't feel good and if we're not okay, nobody's gonna be okay in your household. As a
Yeah.
female, you know what I mean? You run your household basically.
Self
Take
care
back your
is
power.
one. If you don't have that, self care is something, and starting that young too. Like, I used to
Hmm.
love going to the movies by myself. I don't care. Like, at one point, it got to a point where nobody wanted to go to the movies. So I'm like, I don't care. I'll go by myself. And I literally would go to
Yes,
alone, and I have my own seat in the theater. And then COVID took away movie theaters, and I'm just like, I miss it. But I still have Netflix and Amazon Prime and all the things,
exactly.
So
Yeah.
I be
In the
binging.
privacy of your home. In
Yeah,
the
but
privacy of your home, which I think is really nice. You know
I
what I
still
mean? To be able to enjoy a movie in the privacy of your home because it's the principle. I understand that going all the way to the movies and doing this and doing that is the same thing. Have you ever been in a car all by yourself and instead of talking on the phone and having the music loud, everything is just quiet and it's you and your thoughts as you drive through the city and enjoy the view and things like that. That helps a lot.
yeah, for sure. Well, thank you, Ma, so much for helping us on the married perspective. This has been a fun time. Ladies, remember, don't feel alone at all tomorrow. Like, go with your homegirls, do something. Where can the beautiful people find you at?
JanetBernabel.com. You can also find me in Facebook, Janet Bernabel, and in Instagram.
All right, the Instagram tag URL is down below. Y'all already know I'm your girl AD. Y'all can find me everywhere at Evilise88. And that has been our show. So remember, folks, you are loved. If you don't feel loved, we love you. Reach out. I won't mind. Hit me in the DMs because I'm already going to probably be, doing my routine tomorrow. So love you all. Peace and love. And this has been Girl Chat. Peace. It's like I'm trying to end the broadcast, but